Okay. Okay. What's going on, guys? Okay. What's going on, guys? I think we are live. What's going on, guys? I think we are live. What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? Can you guys hear me? What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? Can you guys hear me? What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? Okay, so let's get to it. I think Bionano Genomics, the market has closed. Any moment from now, we should see some. Let's get to it. I need to go to. I think Bionano Genomics, the market has closed. Investors place. Any moment from now, we should see some. Let's get to it. I need to go to. I think Bionano Genomics, the market has closed. Investors place. Any moment from now, we should see some. Let's get to it. I need to go to. I think Bionano Genomics, the market has closed. Place. Any moment from now, we should see some. Let's get to it. 23. So. Any moment from now, we should see some. 23. So. 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 What's up, guys? I think now there is no loop. What's up, guys? I think now there is no loop. What's up, guys? Oh, there's still a loop. I need to figure out what is going on. What's up, guys? Oh, there's still a loop. Give me a second. Figure out what is going on. What's up, guys? Oh, there's still a loop. Give me a second. Figure out what is going on. Oh, dear. Give me a second. Oh, dear. Give me a second. Oh, dear. Give me a second. I have a problem with my audio. We need to do something about it. Microphone audio. Okay, I have a problem with my audio. We need to do something about it. Microphone audio. Okay, I have a problem with my audio. We need to do something about it. Microphone audio. Okay, I have a problem with my audio. We need to do something about it. Okay, now it's sorted. What's going on, guys? What's up? So we are waiting for Bionano Genomics to post the earnings. I think any moment from now they are going to post it. If you go to BNGO filings, if you guys have anything, just let me know. So far there is no new SEC filing, nothing. Yeah, I'm on their website. This is bionanogenomics.com. There is nothing. So let me check out stock tweets. Nothing so far. I think it's going to take like, normally they should post it like right now, 5 minutes after the market close. So any moment from now, we are going to have the report. Then it's oh, February 20th. Okay, so not yet. We're still waiting for the filing, and on stock tweet is nothing. So BNGO is down a little bit right now, guys. We are down a little bit after hour. I mean, nothing really big is going on right now. I think BNG is going to meet the earnings per share. Okay, this EPS right here, this is what, you know, investors have their estimate at -6 cents. So I think BNG is going to meet it. If you guys have seen my video from yesterday where I went into all the numbers, I don't think anything crazy is going to happen. We just have to focus on how much, you know, they have spent during fourth quarter of last year. That's just what we have to focus on, nothing else. So nothing new. Nothing new. Yeah. No, Tom, they are not always late. It just happens to be like that today. They are not always late. Normally they post it like 5 minutes after the market close. So any moment from now we should see something. Any moment from now we should see something. Yeah, after hours is nothing, guys. I mean, you guys saw what happened in the stock markets today. This right here is the one day performance of the stock markets, and most stocks got destroyed today. Okay, everything is red apart from energy sector, of course. Oil and gas integrated, real estate a little bit, oil and gas, you know. And of course, if you go into defense, okay, the likes of Lockheed Martin, where is it defense, Lockheed Martins, you know, that, yeah, right here, look, Lockheed Martin Corporation, you know, that is where the money was flowing into today. So nothing yet. We're still waiting. We are still waiting. I'm trying to refresh all these pages to see if, you know, something comes in. Nothing so far. Checking out my radar. So first of all, thanks. I welcome everybody. Thank you guys for checking in, and I mean, to all the new members of this channel, a huge thanks to you guys. I can see you guys. You know, it helps me to come here every day and share more juicy due diligence with you guys, more juicy news about this company. A lot of people still have no idea what, you know, what is going on in this sector. That is, of course, why I started my channel. You know, when I discovered BNGO back in December 2020, I went online and I couldn't find anything. Then I started my own channel so that the little that, you know, I am able to find, I'll be able to share it with you guys. That is, of course, why we started Frontla. And yeah, nothing so far is going on. Still no earnings. No earnings results. Nothing. The earnings call is going to be in the next 20 minutes. In the next 20 minutes. let me show you guys the earnings call article. Bionano Genomics to report right here. You guys have it right here. Bionano Genomics to report fourth quarter year end 2021. Earnings call is going to be at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, 4:30 p.m. Let me reduce this a little bit. It's going to be at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. So in the next 20 minutes is the earnings call. Of course, I already registered in screen is not clear. So this is the website for the earnings call. We just have to keep monitoring everything, guys. Yeah, I'm going to play the live earnings call, guys. Don't worry. I'm going to play the live earnings call. I'm going to remove my camera so that you guys can see everything clearly until once the earnings finish. Then I'm going to come online and try to share my opinion on the earnings. So nothing so far. Bionano Genomics. Have you guys seen my BNGO Bible? I have about 79 pages. 79 pages of due diligence. I put this together back in where is the date? May 26th of May 2021. That is when I put this together. Almost 1 year now. Oh my god. So you guys can find a lot of information about Bionano Genomics right now on this page. For those of you that are new to this company, you can find a lot of information about BNGO. So yeah, we are still waiting. Nothing yet. I'm trying to refresh all these pages. Nothing. Global. Okay, so we have it. 8 minutes ago, guys. 8 minutes ago. Bionano Genomics report fourth quarter and full year end 2021 financial results and provides revenue outlook for 2022. So full year revenue growth 100. Am I saying this clearly? Yeah, this is it, guys. 111% over 2020. Okay, and the share price of BNGO right now is not really doing much. I'm going to go deep into the earnings and I will share all this information with you guys. But first of all, I need to open this on this side. So nothing is really happening, guys. Nothing has, after hour is more or less not doing anything big. So achieved publicly announced anticipated milestone for 2021 balance sheet with 200. Okay, oh, this is good, guys. This is very good. This right here is still very good. Okay, we have 250 million US dollars in cash available for sales security, blah blah blah. Conference call today, and let me go down and see those numbers. I want to go down and see the numbers. This is not, it's not really bad. 250 million US dollars. Of course, they blew money, okay, during the fourth quarter of last year. Revenue was 18 million US dollars. Wow. Okay, this is good for the full year. And 6.3 million. Okay, BNGO said they were going to report 6.2 million US dollars. So they beat it. They reported 6.3 million US dollars. This is really, something really good, guys. And for the fourth quarter 2021, representing 111% and 58% increases over the corresponding periods of 2020. 12,518 flow cells. I think this is okay for 2021. Reached install base of 164 Sapphire systems, 69% increase over year end 2020, significantly expanding 3-day blah 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 31-hour presentation. This was about the symposium that happened last month, the 2022 symposium. 37 scientists, blah 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 blah. Okay, Appointed this person as blah blah blah. Christian Sewell, Chief Financial Officer, Q2 was an outstanding cut. Okay, this is the note from our CFO. Q4 2021 was an outstanding quarter, capping off a tremendous year where we achieved impressive year-over-year revenue growth of 111%. We leveraged our strong balance sheet to acquire Biodiscovery and their industry-leading software in Q4 2021 to get us to the next level. We begin 2022 in a strong position and look forward to executing on our goal to drive value for our stakeholders. Okay. All right, guys. So I hope you guys can you guys hear me. Please let me know if you can hear me. Let me know in the comment section if you guys can, if everything is still working fine. So I'll just keep talking to myself here. I'll make this a little bit bigger. Remove this 80. Okay, good. So key business highlights in Q4 2021. The company executed on its commercial strategy, blah 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 blah, expanded the installed base, on system 141 at the end of Q3, 164 at end of Q4. Sold. Okay, this is what I was looking for. The numbers of the number of consumables that they sold. So they sold 3,204 nanochannel array flow cells during the quarter ended December. I'm still going to show you guys my database and I'll show you all these numbers. So we are going to compare them, side by side. So which represents 29% growth over the same quarter in 2020, and completed the first prototype for the next generation. I hope you guys can completed the first prototype for the next generation single molecule imaging system for OGM, blah blah blah. We already know about this. Launched version 6.1 of Biodiscovery NS clinical software with expanded capability of NGS, blah 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 blah. We already know this. OGM with Sapphire was adopted at several notable cytogenetics laboratory and academic medical centers in the United States, including, blah blah, Pacific, blah blah blah, University Pittsburgh Medical Center. Okay, this is new. This one is new. Pacific Northwest Research Institute. This is also new. This is some new customers of Bionano Genomics Sapphire device outside the United States. Sapphire was adopted in Australia, I said Austria, Europe, more or less the whole of the continent, Taiwan and Japan. Okay. I don't know about Taiwan and Japan. I don't know anything. China, I think I have an idea of who is presently using the Sapphire device, but Taiwan and Japan, these two are new to me. So announced publication of Sapphire by John Hobson, blah blah blah, clinical pathology, OGM is complementary method to NGS, blah blah blah. We already know all this. Publication of a Sapphire authored at the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center, which evaluated. We already know about this MDS. I made tons of video already, guys. Oh my, if you make 2 videos every day, this is what it is, more or less like. Publication of the first read about SOC. Okay, we already know this. They published this like few weeks ago. Ongoing study evaluated 331 individual sample run from 202 unique sample, blah blah blah. We know about this. Concordance with standard of care 97 point something%. We know this. Partial concordance with SOC minus. We know all of this, guys. We know all of this. So Bionano acquired Biodiscovery, including its industry-leading software NS Clinical to accelerate. We know this. Added exceptional talent across. We know this. They are adding talents. They increase their talent. They increase the head count by 34% in the past 6 months. So we know that already. Now Q4 2021 and full year 2021 financial results. So total revenue $6.3 million US. We know that already from the So gross margin for the fourth quarter of 2021, 4%. This is the gross margin right here. And compared to 30% from the fourth quarter of 2021, of course, they are blowing money, guys. Full year 2021 gross margin was 22%, down from 33% in 2020. Now, fourth quarter 2021 GAAP operating expenses was 29 million. This is what I was looking for, guys. Okay, operating expense 29 million US. That is how much the GAAP operating expense of BNGO in fourth quarter compared to 12.3 million. So they blew money in fourth quarter. Okay, you guys can see right here $12.3 million US dollars, you know, in 2020, 2021, December, I mean the fourth quarter, they blew 29 million US dollars. So I mean, this is a growth company, guys. They need to pay all these people that they are adding to their head count. Okay, so I mean, we already spoke about that. You guys already know about that. The stock price is not really doing anything, you know, dramatic. I mean, we are down -4%. Even, you know, the market was more or less down today, which of course, in my opinion, means there is a bottom. Okay, a strong support around $2 US. As you guys can see, I shared video with you guys yesterday that I expect BNGO to meet the expectation, okay, the estimate, and I think that is more or less what we are seeing so far. Of course, they beat it because according to their, oh, I think, what time is it? 20. No. Okay, I've turned that off. So let's continue, guys. Let's continue now. Expenses gap compared to 11.4 million users for, okay, 21 gap operating expenses, 21.8 million users, blah blah blah. Fourth quarter, blah blah blah. 4.8 million in stock-based compensation. I still need to go deep into all these numbers, guys. I mean, we can't do that right now. I still need to go deep and make a separate video about all these numbers. Full year 2021 GAAP operating expense was 81 million US dollars. Wow. Okay, because, you know, during the first 9 months of last year, they spent about 51, I believe 51 or 52 million US dollars. So right now they, you know, spend about 29 million US dollars. That is why, you know, we end up at 81 million US dollars. Bionano Genomics better make some sales. Okay, I mean, we have 250 million US dollars in cash right now, guys. 250 million US dollars in cash. If they blew 81 million US dollars in 2021, I mean, I hope they are not going to blow the same thing in 2022. And if they are going to blow the same thing in 2022, they better make some sales. Okay, they better make some sales. Now, non-GAAP operating expense 68.4 million US dollars. Operating expense closed 9.7 in stock release 1.4 million, 1.5 million. Okay, so I think that is it. Okay, I want to go down and see where they put all the, so right here, this is where you guys, let me make this a little bit like this so you can see it clearly. So we have everything right here, guys. We have it right here. Revenue, total revenue 3.8 million dollars. 3 months ended December, you know, so in total, service and other revenue 2.4 million US dollars, product revenue 3.8 million US dollars, total revenue 6.3 million US dollars. And if you go down, of course, we can find, I'm looking for the, no, I think I already calculated the EPS. So Bionano Genomics, for sure, they meet the EPS. Okay, it has to be minus 6 cents. That is the EPS, I believe. So I mean, you just have to, if you want to calculate the EPS, you just have to divide the earnings by the numbers of shares available. And right now, I think we have, let me see if they write the number of shares available somewhere. Oh, it has to be somewhere down. Total assets, operating liability, stockholders' equity 377 million. We have about 289 million shares, you know, outstanding shares, 289 million. So you just have to divide it by how much they brought in, you know, and then I mean, you have to divide the earnings 6.3 million US dollars divided by the numbers of shares available, then you can get the EPS. Okay, that's how to calculate it. So that is it, guys. That is BNGO earnings, fourth quarter 2021 earnings, financial results. And so if we go to financial, I don't know, I don't think Yahoo Finance has updated their website yet. So they haven't updated it. Yahoo Finance haven't. Let me read some of you guys. Is 4% margin. What they yeah, it's, I mean, it's, they spent a lot of money. Oh, we have NEWSWIRE in the house. We have Mark in the house. Mark, what's up? What's up, bro? What are you doing here, Mark? I mean, I thought you sold out of your, you know, BNGO, 1 million shares of BNGO. What are you doing? Coming here to chill? Are you planning to get back into the market? Are you planning to come back into BNGO? Mark, please try to stay positive, okay? You just have to stay positive, and if you want to talk about the company, this is not the place, Mark, I think Mark has been. Let me go through Mark. I have to moderate the comment section also. Mr. Mark. Mark, I think it's never too late. Come back into BNGO. All right, guys. So this is what is presently happening right now. BNGO, we are. Wait a minute. 25. So we are 5 minutes before the earnings call. We have 5 minutes left. 5 minutes. If you guys have any question, let me know in the comment section. Let me know. I mean, in the chat. If you have any question, just feel free to ask so that I can answer some question before we start the the earnings call. It's going to start in the next 4 minutes or so. I think Mark sold around 1.9 1.8. Mark, at what price did you sold all your shares? 1.8. So you guys can see, I mean, nothing really bad is happening with BNGO. Nothing shocking. If you guys saw the video I made yesterday, I already shared all these numbers with you guys, and my prediction more or less is correct. Okay, I told you guys that they are going to meet the estimates, and the EPS. Analysts are expecting, they were expecting BNGO to report minus 6 cents, and I think that is exactly what BNGO reported. If you calculate the EPS yourself, okay, it's minus 6 cents. So nothing really dramatic is going on, and as you guys can see, the share price after hours is not doing anything. We just have to wait till tomorrow, okay, because we have a lot of things economically that is going to. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so tomorrow we have ADP non-farm employment change before the market opens. Then we have FOMC member Bullard is going to speak immediately the market opens. So that's more or less what we have tomorrow. But on Thursday, we have initial jobless claim before the market opens. Then after the market opens, we have ISM non-manufacturing PMI. Then at I think about 1 hour 30 minutes after the market opens, Fed Chairman Jeremy Powell is going to testify. Powell, or what is his name, is going to testify, and you guys should be expecting Thursday to be very volatile. Okay, I mean, I know most of you guys are not only invested in BNGO, so you have to be prepared to see some action on Thursday. Okay, so what is Mark saying? 800,000 at 1.92 US dollars. So yeah, so Mark sold around 1.92 US dollars, but right now BNGO is trading around 2.16 US dollars. He could have at least wait a little bit, for the stock price to retrace, even if you don't have the stomach to handle all the volatility. You could have waited a little bit. Yeah, the estimate was they estimated to report between 5.8 million US dollars to 6.2 million US dollars for the total revenue for Q4 2021. So they reported 6.3 million US dollars, which of course is a bit, okay. But you guys have to understand that the expenses, okay, they spent 29 million US dollars in fourth quarter. So I mean, that is possibly what is presently affecting the stock price. Okay, investors are going to be waiting to see how much BNG is going to spend in the first quarter of this year, the Q1 of this year. We are going to wait and see what they are going to spend. I mean, we have to monitor the expenses. We have to understand that last year they also acquired a business. They acquired BioDiscovery last year, which of course is increased their spending last year. So I think the chief financial officer Christopher Stewart, I think he's doing a wonderful job so far. You have to understand this is a growth company. They have to be a little bit aggressive with the way they spend. If not, we are just going to be here for the next 20 years and nothing is going to happen to the stock price. Okay, so these are more or less what we are going through right now. So if anybody, I mean, I like you guys have to, Ismail, you have to understand that if you write a negative comment, it's not gonna appear. YouTube is moderating this automatically, so I mean, and I can easily block you as well, but I don't want to block anybody. Please, let's try to stay okay. So let's go, guys. It is time. Any moment from now, BNGO is going to come online and they will tell us what is going on with the company. You guys have to tell me if the sound is very good, so that I can reduce my
Bionano Genomics fourth quarter and full year 2021 earnings conference call. Today's conference is being recorded. At this time, I would like to turn the conference over to Amy Conrad from Investor Relations. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Gigi, and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Bionano Genomics fourth quarter and full year 2021 financial results conference call. Leading the call today is Dr. Erik Holmlin, CEO of Bionano. He is joined by Chris Stewart, CFO of Bionano, and Rich Shippey, CBO and Head of Global Sales of Bionano. After market close today, Bionano issued a press release announcing its financial results for the fourth quarter and full year 2021. A copy of the release can be found on the Investor Relations page of the company's website. I would like to remind everyone that certain statements made during this conference call are forward-looking, including statements about Bionano's strategic and commercialization plans, sales pipeline, anticipated benefits or improvements to the Sapphire system, goals and anticipated milestones for 2022, the advantages of the Sapphire system over current technologies, the anticipated benefits of recent acquisitions, expectations regarding timing and content of study results, and anticipated benefits of these studies in driving adoption of the Sapphire system. Such forward-looking statements are based upon current expectations, and there can be no assurances that the results contemplated in these statements will be realized. Actual results may differ materially from such statements due to a number of factors and risks, some of which are identified in Bionano's press release and Bionano's reports filed with the SEC. These forward-looking statements are based on information available to Bionano today, and the company assumes no obligation to update statements as circumstances change. In addition, to supplement Bionano's financial results reported in accordance with U.S. Generally Accepted Accounting Principles, or GAAP, the company is reporting non-GAAP operating expense. This non-GAAP financial measure is not meant to be considered in isolation or as a substitute for comparable GAAP measures. Should be read in conjunction with the company's consolidated financial statements prepared in accordance with GAAP, has no standardized meaning prescribed by GAAP, and is not prepared under any comprehensive set of accounting rules or principles. A description of non-GAAP operating expense and reconciliation of non-GAAP operating expense to GAAP operating are included at the end of the company's earnings release issued earlier today, which has been posted on the IR page of the company's website. An audio recording and webcast replay for today's conference call will also be available online in the Investors section of the company's website. With that, I will turn the call over to Erik.
Thank you, Amy, and good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. I want to start out by saying that 2021 was simply a spectacular year for Bionano. Commercially, the results were very strong. We grew the installed base of our Sapphire systems in the world to 164, which represents 69% growth over the installed base on December 31st, 2020, and exceeded our goal of 150 by nearly 10%, with optical genome mapping being adopted at several notable cytogenetics laboratories and academic medical centers in the United States, across Europe, Australia, China, Taiwan, and Japan. We also sold 3,204 flow cells during the fourth quarter of 2021, which represents 29% growth over the same period in 2020, and brings the total for 2021 to 12,500 flow cells sold, and that represents 96% growth over the 6,311 flow cells sold in 2020. Now, please remember that the flow cell is the unit consumable in our nanochannel arrays for analyzing one human genome. The more of these flow cells that are purchased in the market indicate more utilization in the field, which in turn leads to more data, more publications, more presentations, and we believe more demand for optical genome mapping, so this is outstanding progress. And our revenues in the fourth quarter of 2021 were $6.3 million, which is up 58% versus the same period in 2020. And revenues for the full year 2021 were $18 million, which represents 111% growth compared to 2020. Now, in clinical development and Bionano laboratories, we also made tremendous progress. The sites conducting our postnatal study published their interim technical performance readout of the study, and the data gave an incredibly positive view of the utility and robustness of optical genome mapping across these sites. The interim results showed that optical genome mapping is consistently performing as well or better than traditional methods used in cytogenetics and for the analysis of chromosomal aberrations and structural variations. The data also showed that optical genome mapping can be performed reliably, reproducibly across multiple sites, multiple sample types, and multiple different operators. Enrollment for our postnatal study reached 113 subjects, while enrollment in the prenatal study received IRB approval and reached 132 subjects. 2022 will be a significant year for progress in these studies, and I'll say more about that when I cover the 2022 strategy and goal. Now, Sapphire sites in Europe reported receiving accreditation for their OGM workflows beginning in Q2 2021. And these accreditations unlock the potential for menu expansion and reimbursement. While in the U.S. during 2021, several sites validated OGM in laboratory developed tests, and they submitted applications for reimbursement codes, including Z codes and proprietary laboratory analysis or PLA codes. These codes are what enable them to get paid for the OGM tests that they performed. And in our own Bionano laboratories, during the fourth quarter of 2021, we analyzed 341 samples, and you can compare that to 117 samples that were analyzed in the same quarter in 2020. The total number of samples analyzed in 2021 was 1,067 samples, and that compares to 694 for the year 2020. Now, we believe these services projects can provide critical proof of principle for newcomers to optical genome mapping as they evaluate it in their research with their own samples. The data provide them with the ammunition they need to convince their institutions to bring optical genome mapping in-house. And when we see growth in these services samples being processed, we view it as a good leading indicator of demand for optical genome mapping. In product development, we had tremendous progress as well. We released important assays in the third quarter for optical genome mapping with Sapphire that enabled different applications, including ones for cultured amniocytes and chorionic villi samples, which enable our prenatal studies and customer applications in that area, as well as other applications in prenatal analysis and product of conception analysis. We released version 6.1 of our NX clinical software in the fourth quarter, which was developed by BioDiscovery. Version 6.1 has expanded capabilities for analysis of next-generation sequencing in genetic disease and cancer, and supports novel assays in these disease areas. And importantly, in the fourth quarter, we completed the prototype of the next version of Optical Genome Mapper that we are working on. This new instrument is expected to enable optical genome mapping analysis at substantially higher throughputs than the Sapphire system currently supports, and should improve many aspects of the optical genome mapping workflow. And financially, we strengthened the balance sheet with equity financings in the first quarter of 2021, which were significant then, but given today's environment, they represent highly important steps in enabling the company's ability to continue growing and achieving these outstanding results. Lastly, I want to mention an important step we took in corporate development, which was the acquisition of BioDiscovery that we completed in October of 2021. And this move brings in their software products for visualization, interpretation, and reporting of sequencing and microarray data, as well as their team of world-class software engineers, including Dr. Sohail Shams, who was their founder and CEO and has become our Chief Informatics Officer. Dr. Sham leads our genome informatics team, including software development and bioinformatics. And it's motivated by accelerating the importance of optical genome mapping as a unique and valuable tool for all sorts of genome analysis. We were looking to accelerate the development of our own software for this type of visualization, interpretation, and reporting, but focused on optical genome mapping data. And so acquiring BioDiscovery gave us the team and the platform into which we could incorporate optical genome mapping quickly. NX Clinical is industry leading for these applications in analyzing structural variation, and it gives us a tool that integrates optical genome mapping alongside these commonly used data types in the industry. And so when we look back over the year as a whole, what we really conclude is that we exceeded the goals and expectations for all of our planned milestones across the whole year, but we also advanced the company across our strategy, products, and finances in ways that we really feel exceeded our plan overall. In fact, we view 2021 as being a complete transformation of Bionano from a life sciences instrumentation company where we began into a global genomics company that's focused now on elevating the health and wellness of all people with a suite of products and services that have the potential to transform the way the world sees the genome. So I'm very proud of 2021, the momentum that we've built there, but I'd like to turn the page on 2021 and begin focusing on 2022. We see 2022 as representing a key time of inflection for us. We want to elevate the company commercially. We want to improve the product and the services that we provide across the industry. And we want to change the way in which they're accepted. In fact, we call the strategic roadmap for 2022 Elevate. And Elevate has 5 major strategic pillars. First and foremost, we want to continue the amazing progress that we've made in expanding our commercial traction and validation of optical genome mapping. We want to delight our customers with our products. And something that we need to recognize about the level and size of our installed base is that robustness becomes incredibly critical, as well as the use of the products for industrial applications at scale. We want to clear the path for optical genome mapping reimbursement or market access across our target markets on a global basis. We want to continue advancing our products in a way that enables market expansion and penetration into new markets, and we want to make software a strategic driver of Bionano solutions. I've got some milestones to summarize for you in connection with 2022 and Elevate. Before doing that, though, I want to turn the call over to Chris Stewart, our CFO, for him to walk you through an overview of our financials. Chris?
Thanks, Eric. The fourth quarter of 2021 was an outstanding quarter for us, which capped off a great year where we achieved impressive year-over-year revenue growth and were able to leverage our strong balance sheet to grow our business through strategic moves like the acquisition of BioDiscovery. I'll begin with a review of our revenues. Revenue in the fourth quarter of 2021 was approximately $6.3 million, slightly above the high end of the preliminary range of $5.8 to $6.2 million that we provided back on January 12th of this year. This is an increase of $1.6 million or 35% over the third quarter of 2021. Revenue for the full year was $18 million, representing a 111% increase over 2020. The fourth quarter includes revenue of $1.1 million from BioDiscovery since the October 2021 acquisition date. Revenue from BioDiscovery is included in the service and other revenue line in our P&L. The year-on-year and quarter-on-quarter increases were driven largely by demand for Sapphire optical genome mapping solutions and, of course, the addition of BioDiscovery. We saw a good balance of growth across all product categories and geographies. I now want to spend a minute talking about gross margins. Gross margin for the fourth quarter came in at a disappointing 4% compared to 25% in the third quarter of 2021 and 30% from the fourth quarter of 2020. The decrease was primarily due to low manufacturing yields on our chip consumables produced at one of our contract manufacturers and a resulting $1.2 million write-off of inventory in the fourth quarter. Full year 2021 gross margin was 22%, down from 33% in the prior year. Largely because of COVID disruptions and personnel turnover at a key supplier, manufacturing yields of commercial-grade chips fell during 2021. These wafers passed quality control specifications at the foundry, but failed to meet our final commercial quality specifications, and therefore we would not ship to customers. In Q4, continued low yield led to the excess inventory and the write-off of about $1.2 million of inventory. We are actively working with our supplier to get yields back to where they have historically been. This is a transient issue, but it may take a few quarters for gross margin to recover to prior levels. Regarding expenses, this quarter we're updating the way we report our operating expense to include both GAAP and non-GAAP numbers. The acquisition of BioDiscovery resulted in additional stock-based compensation as well as amortization of intangibles expense. These are both non-cash expenses, and we believe that providing our operating expense excluding these ongoing non-cash expenses and as well as certain other one-time expenses will provide a more useful measure of our performance. Fourth quarter 2021 GAAP operating expense was $29 million compared to $12.3 million the prior year. The year-over-year increase was primarily due to headcount-related spending, increased R&D expense, and transaction costs associated with our acquisition of BioDiscovery. Fourth quarter non-GAAP operating expense was $22.1 million, compared with $11.4 million in the fourth quarter of 2020. Non-GAAP operating expense excludes $4.8 million in stock-based compensation, $1.2 million in amortization of intangibles, and $1.2 million in transaction-related costs. Full year 2021 GAAP operating expense was $81 million, and non-GAAP operating expense was $68.4 million. Non-GAAP operating expense for the year excludes $9.7 million in stock-based compensation, $1.4 million in amortization of intangibles, and $1.5 million in transaction costs. At December 31st, 2021, Bionano had cash equivalents, and short-term investments of $250.6 million compared to cash and cash equivalents of $38.4 million at December 31st, 2020. The increase is primarily due to the equity raises that were completed in the first quarter of 2021. As we begin 2022, we're in our strongest position yet. We expect Q1 2022 revenue to be in the range of $5.5 to $5.8 million, representing normal seasonal declines from the prior fourth quarter. We expect full year revenue to be in the range of $24 million to $27 million, which would be a 33 to 50% growth over the full year 2020. I'm really pleased about what we've achieved and where we're headed. And with that, I'll turn the call back over to Eric to discuss Elevate and our upcoming milestones before we take your questions.
Great. Thank you, Chris. And I want to say that we couldn't really be more excited about the year ahead. We have challenges to address, and the impact of COVID on production quality and supply chain remain concerns. And we are cautious about the macro environment beyond COVID given current global events. Nevertheless, we believe we can make significant progress through Elevate. And here are the key value-driving milestones in 2022. In the first half, we're going to be focused on making progress in our clinical studies, getting IRB approval for our hematologic study, and progressing in other areas of those clinical trials. We are also going to be addressing market access through applications for a CPT code for optical genome mapping. In the second half, we're going to be adding additional laboratory-developed tests to Bionano laboratories. These will be optical genome mapping-based tests, continue progression in our studies through completion of our postnatal study. We would expect to have an interim publication on our prenatal study. We will also advance the product by releasing new labeling protocols and DNA isolation protocols that will have the effect of simplifying and accelerating, streamlining the OGM workflow. We will have what we're calling a pre-commercial version of this new high-throughput imaging system for optical genome mapping. That's going to be running in the field, so we'll be transitioning from the prototype to this pre-commercial system over the course of the year. And what we expect to achieve in terms of installed base growth is 240 Sapphire systems installed around the world, which is an increase from the 164 systems that we finished 2021 with. In closing, I want to reiterate that we are very proud of 2021 and what we achieved. We are extremely excited about 2022. And what we see is the increasing interest and adoption in optical genome mapping, and that's consistent with our objective to make optical genome mapping really a mainstream analytical tool. But now, in expanding beyond just offering optical genome mapping, we recognize that software plays a critical role in driving forward towards the adoption of Bionano solutions across genomics. And we believe that that's going to be transformational for us. And so we look forward to updating you soon about our progress this quarter, the first quarter of 2022, and of course, throughout the year. With that, operator, we are ready to take questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. If you are using a speakerphone, please make sure your mute function is turned off to allow your signal to reach our equipment. Again, press star 1 to ask a question. Our first question comes from the line of Sung Ji Nam from BTIG. Your line is now open.
Hi, thanks for taking the questions, and congratulations on the quarter and the year. Starting out with your gross margins and the contract manufacturing issues, could you talk about whether you might, I don't know if you might be able to comment, but are there alternative options in terms from a supplier standpoint? And do you expect to use the same supplier for the next generation platform?
Well, looking at our supply chain, making it as robust as possible is something we're always looking at, but we're not talking at this point about any specific changes that we'll make, but it is something we're always looking at and working on.
Okay, gotcha. And then in terms of the biodiscovery acquisition, I believe you guys had mentioned that there is going to be some sort of OGM integration into the software offering sometime this year, or some interim development happening sometime this year. Am I missing? Did I hear that correctly, or just kind of curious, what are the updates as far as the OGM?
Yes, I apologize. I should have mentioned that on the that's a key milestone for the second half. Will be the release of NX Clinical featuring OGM. So that was an omission on my part.
Oh, no worries. Gotcha. And then lastly for me, okay, that makes sense. And then for Chris, again, could you kind of give us guidance in terms of your Opex spending expectations for the year? Do you think it's kind of the spending in the fourth quarter is a good starting point, in terms of modeling forward
and again,
the full year?
Yeah. So from a non-GAAP perspective, we think Q4 is a good starting off point, and we are continuing to add headcount in strategic areas of the organization, but it certainly won't be the magnitude of the hiring that we did in 2021. So if we start with Q4 and modest growth throughout the year, you'd be in the right ballpark.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Jeffrey Cohen from Ladenburg Thalmann. Your line is now open.
Hi, everyone. This is actually Destiny on for Jeff. Thank you for taking my questions. I'd like to start with some of these new LDTs and the pre-commercial rollout of your next generation system. For the LDTs, what should we or what could we think about in terms of what that would include? And then with your pre-commercial rollout, how do you plan to approach that? Are you starting with 5 to 10 accounts, some of your largest accounts? How should we think about that?
With regard to the LDTs, they'll be focused on both genetic diseases and hematologic malignancies, and the initial menu will include FSHD on the genetic diseases side, and I don't think we have completely locked down the heme application, but it'll be one of the leukemias. And it's important to kind of emphasize the role of these LDTs that we're developing. These are not revenue drivers for us, but they are strategic products that we will use to continue to expand demand for optical genome mapping based assays, but importantly, we will leverage them to engage with third-party payers such as insurance companies and others to reimburse for optical genome mapping assays. Now, with regard to the pre-commercial rollout, we will start with sites that are designed to implement and evaluate these pre-commercial versions of instruments in a way that gives us useful feedback as we transition to the final development of the actual commercial system for release. And so these tend to be sites that have adequate volume but also are familiar with new technologies and new instruments that haven't yet been released to the market. And we have a whole host of sites to choose from that have expressed interest, and we haven't picked those sites yet.
Got it. Okay, yeah, that's a good problem to have, definitely. I'm curious about your commentary around accreditation in Europe. How might that impact your commercial strategy OUS, and then any top-line impacts you think in 2022?
Well, accreditation is a process that's not unlike, first of all, it's unique to each region in which it's happening, which can be organized at the country level, or in some countries can be organized at the regional level, comparable to state level organizations in the United States. But accreditation is similar to the validation of a laboratory developed test. In the US, it meets certain quality criteria that a laboratory is taking responsibility for, and therefore qualifies them to bill their healthcare systems for reimbursement. And the way in which it impacts top line, I wouldn't say that it's something that necessarily increases the top line, but it's part of the overall adoption strategy. And so once a site is accredited, it gives them the ability to run the assays and then increase the menu. And so we have an expectation that the pull-through on a per-site basis will continue to grow from the average that it's at now to higher levels over time, and that assumes that there will be the necessary compliance in each region to expand the menu to look at more and more assays, which will in turn drive more and more consumables utilization. So the models that we have and that we've seen out there looking at our revenues, I think reasonably assume that these accreditations are taking place, and we're informing everyone that they have taken place.
Okay, got it. Thank you. And then I guess lastly for me, in the near term, do you have any presentations at any scientific conferences that we should be aware of? Thank you so much for taking my questions.
Yeah, thank you, Destiny. We'll always keep everyone apprised. We have an active calendar across all of the major scientific meetings that happen over the course of the year, and we tend to announce those in advance. So we will be keeping you posted there.
Got it. Thanks again.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Kevin DeGeeter from Oppenheimer. Your line is now open.
Hi, this is Susan on for Kevin. Just a couple questions on reimbursement. The first one, can you comment on the process on applying for Category 1 CPT? And do you have any idea what the turnaround on that is?
So the process involves a submission to the AMA as part of the CPT code evaluation and assignment function that they provide. And the application is reviewed by a committee, and that committee will look at all of the applications that are submitted in a given period. And their process would be to evaluate the need for such a code, and that need is based on the existence of, let's call it, a critical mass of utilization in the United States. Evidence for that critical mass are LDTs that have been developed by different labs, the applications for different laboratory-specific codes such as PLA codes. And so we know we've seen that, and so there's a good amount of evidence for utilization. And the committee determines whether it's appropriate to issue a specific code connected to the methodology. And that process unfolds over roughly the first half of the year. And the outcomes could be that the code is denied for any reason, and we would have the chance to reapply. The code could be approved, and in the event that it's approved, then there's a process that happens that's connected to development of recommended pricing for the code. And so we're obviously at the beginning of that. The applications are due, and we'll be submitting it. And we're excited that we feel that we've reached the level of utilization, adoption, and need in the market that we believe could potentially reflect favorably on the need for this Category 1 CPT code, but it's up to the committee to decide.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's a really important milestone. Just staying on the topic of reimbursement, do you guys have an idea what the next steps are following the postnatal study in fourth quarter? I know that was a pretty big deal on whether or not you get reimbursement.
Yes, so these studies factor into reimbursement, and I would say something about, we are talking about a Category 1 CPT code, and, the process of reimbursement, I think, can be reasonably described as a combination of coding and coverage. And there are a variety of ways in which an assay can be coded, and so we've talked about them. Of course, the Category 1 CPT code is one of the more general ones, and that's why we're enthusiastic about going for it. But coverage is the process that payers go through to determine whether the assay itself warrants their reimbursement. Coding is important and in some respects clerical, but coverage is key. And coverage decisions are made by a number of factors, again, critical mass of adoption and utilization, but they rely heavily on where medical societies come out, on the utility and value of a particular methodology or assay or workflow or technology. In our case, of course, that's optical genome mapping. So medical societies weigh in greatly on that, as do various demonstrations of this utility. And so the completion of the postnatal study will entail the evaluation of all of our primary endpoints. So we've looked at just those technical performance endpoints so far in the interim release, but the completion will entail looking at these critical endpoints like turnaround time, overall success rates or diagnostic yields if optical genome mapping were to be used as a diagnostic assay, health economic impacts, and then over time we'll of course be looking at patient outcomes. But these primary endpoints, health economic, turnaround time, workflow simplification, and overall diagnostic yields will factor in prominently and in coverage decisions that will be coming over the course of this year and into next year. And so that's why that's such a key study for us to reach completion on.
Just one last question. So you have several study timelines in 2022, really exciting. How confident are you about these timelines? What are some of the risks that you maybe foresee?
So we try to be cautious and careful about committing to these milestones, and so we have enough confidence to put them out there, and we believe strongly that we'll be able to hit them. The risks that we face, like anybody conducting a clinical trial, tend to be primarily around enrollment, but for us it's a process of data generation, data analysis, reporting, interpretation, and then ultimately the publication. If we can get the enrollment, we have a good shot at seeing the other things go reasonably smoothly according to timeline. The risk in enrollment is related to COVID and other aspects of staffing shortages and any closures that might happen. We're not seeing closures anymore, and I don't know if other companies are talking about that, but we have seen through the Omicron surge, and maybe that's behind us, but we're still feeling the ripple effects of it, where a lot of staffing shortages have occurred, and as a result, sites are focused on critical activities, essential activities, and so some of these research studies take a back seat, and so that's probably the biggest risk. But staffing shortages also impact our ability to generate and analyze data, so we have to be mindful of those, but it's our job to manage the studies and do the best we can to drive them forward because of the critical role they play in influencing medical societies that are setting guidelines and these coverage decisions that we've talked about.
Got it. Congratulations on a quarter, and that's all for us. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Jason McCarthy from Maxim Group. Your line is now open.
Hey guys, this is Michael Okunowicz on the line for Jason. Thanks for taking my questions and congrats on a really great quarter. I'd actually like to start out on the revenue line and see if you could provide a bit more granularity in terms of how much of that growth was organic, driven by increased Sapphire utilization, and then if you could give a bit more in terms of how much of that was consumables versus unit placement and rental income.
Yeah, so first of all, we did mention, or I mentioned, that there was a $1.1 million contribution from BioDiscovery. That was most of Q4. The acquisition closed October 18th, so that was that. So from Q3 to Q4, organically, we grew about $500,000. And that was balanced across both instruments and consumables revenue. So Sapphire, the OGM business, drove most, if not all, of that growth, and it was almost like equally. It was geared towards instrument and a little bit less growth on the consumable side in Q4.
All right, thank you. And then I'd also like to follow up on the question regarding the postnatal study. From a commercial perspective, what would a covered postnatal assay look like? Would this primarily be a driver of adoption among diagnostic labs, or is there a potential to get a more direct revenue stream from the assay?
It's the former. I mean, I think that we're not really in the testing services business broadly. We are in it, and as you know, we sell diagnostic tests in the pediatric neurodevelopmental disorder space, and that's a strategic set of products for us and revenue line for us. But we believe that we are much better off enabling multiple labs to run multiple assays per lab than trying to drive revenues by selling a diagnostic test. And I think we can point to probably many examples of companies that have taken that route, but Illumina has built their business primarily on the proliferation of next-generation sequencing, and so we want to follow in their path. It doesn't mean that we can't develop high-value proprietary assays over time, and we look at that, and we have some ideas around that, but we're better off driving the adoption of optical genome mappers, our software, and being, a solution provider to the genome analysis community, whether that's people working in clinical applications because that's what they're working on, or discovery research, or however they choose to apply the technology. Now, when it comes to applications in genetic diseases and genetic disorders, we were very excited to announce our strategic initiative around rare, undiagnosed genetic diseases yesterday, in recognition of Rare Diseases Day. Rare diseases, you may know, is a name that's completely wrong for the condition as a whole. There are some 350 million people in the world who are impacted by a so-called rare disease. 75 to 80% of those have a genetic cause, and optical genome mapping can play an important role in answering puzzling questions as to why somebody may be sick, or puzzling questions as to there is a disease out there, but we don't know what the genetic cause is. And so this is an example of where completing our postnatal study will really position optical genome mapping to be a go-to solution in areas like rare undiagnosed genetic diseases, or the rugged field, as we call it.
All right, thank you very much. And again, congrats on the quarter.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I am showing no further questions. I would like to turn the call back over to Eric Holman for closing remarks.
Great. Thank you, Gigi. I want to thank everybody for joining and participating, the good questions. And we look forward to speaking to you again about Q1, which will be a call just right around the corner. So thank you very much.
This concludes today's conference call. Thank you for participating. You may now disconnect.
All right, guys, so that is it, guys. That is it. You guys have listened to everything that Eric has to say, and this chief financial officer as well. BNGO share price is more or less not doing anything crazy. I need to close this and this. So the stock price is not doing anything crazy. I mean, we are more or less back where we were today. Nothing has changed so far. Now, if you guys go into I want to show you guys the Bionano Genomics. I want to show you guys some of the numbers that they just shared with us, the expectation for 2022. Okay, so news and events, news release, earnings report. Now we need to talk about the key business highlights in no, not the key business, the financial guidance for 2022, guys. This is it, guys. The financial guidance, Bionano Genomics expect full year 2022 revenue to be in the range of 24 million to 27 million US dollars, okay? Which of course is going to represent 33% to 50% growth over full year 2021 revenue. You guys have to understand that I think they don't want to go crazy. They are trying to sandbag this number. They want to keep it below, they want to keep it between 30 to 50%, okay? This is more or less the standard number that Bionano Genomics is using right now. It's always good to under promise and then over deliver. That is what I believe they are doing now. If you take a look at the first quarter of this year, the CEO mentioned something about category 1 CPT code for OGM. Okay, this is something that I'm still going to dive deep into, and I'm going to share more information with you guys. I already know about this, of course, before. You guys have to understand that I talk about this company every day. So I already know about this before, but now I have more information about it. So I'm still going to dive deep into this, and I'm going to be sharing more information with you guys, about CPT code and how this is going to benefit Bionano Genomics. Now, if you go to the install base, okay, they are expecting, I already went through all of these other numbers right here. The second quarter, I don't see anything, this more or less research, releasing labeling protocol 2.0, SPS, DNA isolation protocol. All this one are more or less, making the Sapphire device stronger, increasing the software capabilities and so on and so forth. And then this prenatal version of new high throughput imaging system. So Q4 2022, that is where the action is, guys. Okay, so we have the Q1 2022, the category 1 CPT code. Then if you go to Q4, if you come to this pre-commercial version of new high throughput imaging system for OGM system running in the field, guys, I mean, this is it. This is the next generation Sapphire device we are talking about. And in the first quarter of 2023, that is when I believe they will start to sell these devices in mass. So you guys should be expecting, beautiful news. I shared tons of information about this already, and I'm still going to be sharing more information about that. I don't want to, sound like I am super hyped. We need to stay focused. We are investors now. The install base, they are targeting 240 Sapphire devices. I need to reduce this. So they are targeting 240 Sapphire devices for 2020 till on the fourth quarter of 2022. Okay, which of course is also going to be 45%. I hope you guys can hear me before I go too deep into this. Can you guys hear me? Oh, What's up, guys? I think I have 1 minute delay. Okay, so install base 240 Sapphire system for 2022. Okay, this of course is more or less sandbagging. I'm still going to share my spreadsheet with you guys so that we can go through it together. So 240 Sapphire device. We installed 164 till end of last year. And I think that is it. So let's go to my my device. Okay, let me go to my spreadsheet. I said device. I have to go to my spreadsheet. So this right here and this right here, these are the focus. These are where I'm going to be focusing next. All these are more or less technical topics in my opinion. Talking about prenatal, postnatal. We already know all those things. Now let's go to my spreadsheet and then we can conclude this this video. So Sapphire devices. If you come right here, if you come to year to date 2021-22, install base. So they are targeting 240. Okay, for 2022 Q4 2022. That's what they are targeting, 240. Now for those of you saying if everything is in line, if you take a look at my estimate, BNGO has more or less reported 18 million US dollars. So I still have to change this number. I have to bring this down a little bit. They reported about 18 million US dollars for 2021 total revenue. In 2020, BNGO reported 8.4 million US dollars. You guys can already see that this company is growing. Okay, now they report 18 million US dollars in 2022. According to their estimates, they estimate to I don't know if they tell us how much. I think I still have to calculate these numbers very well. I don't want to tell you guys some crappy number. So I think they are targeting between 20, I shared it with you guys, I believe 24 million to something. Let me see my 20, where is it? I think I shared it with you guys. 20 something million US dollars. Can't find it. I'm looking for it. 164 Sapphire devices. Okay, 24 to 27 million. Thank you. 24 to 27 million. That's what they are targeting for 2022. So I still have to go through this Sapphire, the number of Sapphire that they are going to install, and then the number of consumables that they are going to sell. I need to edit this. If they are targeting 24 to 27, this number, of course, I haven't updated this number. I was supposed to change this to about 30 million US dollars. So in my opinion, 24 to 27, I think BNGO is targeting about 30 million US dollars for 2022. Okay, so if you guys assume, let's assume we have 30 million US dollars here. Let me reduce this to 32 so that it can, let me see, 22, 24, 28. Okay, so if we have 30 million US dollars for 2022, I'm still going to go through this once again. You guys can see that BNGO, you can see the growth. Okay, 2020 8 million US dollars, 2021 18 million US dollars, 2022 30 million US dollars, 2023 you guys should expect double. I mean, you should expect double of this. So let's say 60 million US dollars. Now in 2021, the expenses, according to what they said, they spent about 80 something million US dollars. That is how much they spent in 2021. Okay, they spent about 80 million US dollars. Let's say 80 million US dollars. So if in 2023 they report about 80, okay, I believe they are going to report closer to this number. Let's say they report about between 60 to 80. You guys can already see that we are approaching profitability. Okay, so in 2024 you should expect BNGO to be profitable according to all these numbers that I am seeing. 2024 you guys should expect BNGO to be profitable, and of course the stock price is of course going to be following it. You guys have to understand, analysts are also seeing all this number better than I can see it. They have a better spreadsheet than I have, so they are going to be, the stock price is going to be following these numbers, and there may be no room for for retail investors to get back in. Right now the share price is around $2, and so after adjusting my numbers, you guys can see the graph 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023. Of course this is going to come down a little bit after I adjust it, and then 2023. So 2024, this is the graph right here, guys. You guys can see, I mean, you can see it is happening slowly. I love the idea that the CEO is not over promising. They are under promising, and they don't want to get everybody pumped, and then you guys are going to put all your retirement money into this stock, and then expecting the stock price to moon in the next 6 months, and unfortunately that's not going to happen, unfortunately, or for whatever. So Sapphire test commitment, I want to show you guys one more number, then we can end the video. So according to my video that I shared with you guys yesterday, you guys can see that this right here is correct. BNGO total revenue for 2021, 18 million US dollars. Okay, nothing really. That is of course why I wasn't really hyped or something. Everything is in line according to what I was expecting. I explained it yesterday in the video, so I think that is it, guys. That is it. Sapphire install base, they are expecting 240 for 2022, which of course is not really crazy. I mean, I don't want to go, I still need to share more information with you guys, but I can't share everything right now. Okay, but I am very happy with what I am seeing so far. I am very happy with the results. Nothing really crazy is going on, nothing dramatic. Everything is in line, everything is calm. That is more or less what I think I can, the only thing I can share with you guys right now. So yeah, I think that's it. If you have any question, just let me know in the comment section, and then we can end the video, because I still have to post another video about the earnings, a shorter video, because this one is about 1 hour 26 minutes. And of course we still have other viewers that would love to know what just happened during this earnings call. So, and let me see if I can share some information with you guys about today's market. Okay, if you guys have any stock you want me to quickly check, I still have a few minutes left. This is what's happening with the market, stock market today. We closed trade, and like I already shared with you guys on Thursday, Fed Chairman Powell is going to testify around about 1 hour 30 minutes after the market closed on Thursday. And I think tomorrow, investors are they are going to price in what is going to happen on Thursday, or maybe they are going to try to take profit a little bit tomorrow. So we may see stock price go down tomorrow. I'm not talking about BNG, I'm talking about the stock market in general. And as you guys already know, oil is going crazy right now. We have new oil all-time high for oil. I think it's about 8 years or 10 years all-time high. The price of oil is going crazy. That is of course where money is moving into. Money is moving into oil and gas, energy sector, and of course all this a little bit into gold and industries. Okay, where the money is, where is it, Lord? Right here, aerospace is also another place that money is moving into. You guys can see Lockheed Martin Corporation today was up 5%. Okay, that's where money is moving into. Anybody that is into if you are invested in all this technology stock right now, semiconductor, Apple, the likes of all these guys, I mean Facebook, you are going to hold on for now. I mean, you should be ready to sit on a little bit drawdown. Look at that, financials, all these banks are completely red. Okay, so this is where the money is moving into right now. Now questions please. 80 million would be an increase of 300%. I hope it sounds a bit high. Hello Susan, hello everybody. Thanks Rusty, Manix, Desakatao, thanks Abu, thanks so much. Supe, thanks so much. So I think that's it, guys. I think that is it. I think that is it. Brandon, thanks so much, guys. Thanks for the support. I made a video for channel members. Please go and see it. Okay, I put everything in that video because I have some things that I cannot share publicly, so I just have to put it privately so that few people can watch it and understand it. Go and check it, guys. And yeah, we have a lot of things going on right now. Russia, Ukraine, this crisis in Europe. I am in Germany right now, guys, and everything in Germany is more or less normal. Apart from the oil prices going crazy, I have to pay like double of what I used to pay right now to fill the tank. But everything else is normal in Germany, and of course, I also have people in Poland next to Ukraine. Poland is also, everything is normal in Poland, apart from those cities that are next to the border of Ukraine. Okay, so that is more or less what is going on right now. Investors are scared. Money is moving into energy. Money is moving into defense stocks. Money is moving into all these aerospace stocks. That is more or less where the money is moving into. And financials, all this technology stock, communication, everything is just taking beating right now. So yeah, Diamond Hand. Nothing crazy is going on with BNGO, guys. I love what I'm seeing so far. I mean, everything is going on fine with the company positively. I mean, if you go deep into the numbers, you will understand what I'm saying. Manis already shared some comments, and I agree with him. If you go deep into the numbers, you will see that everything is in line with the company. They are moving forward positively, installing devices. Trying to get into all those laboratories out there, and BNG is going crazy in Europe. I made a video about, they made a tweet yesterday about rare genetic disease, because yesterday was rare genetic disease day. I think in Europe, I don't know if it's in another continent. In Europe, yesterday was rare genetic disease day, and European government is putting a lot of money into this research. Okay, we are talking about tens of millions of US dollars. So laboratories are going to be they will use this opportunity to acquire the Sapphire device. University are already doing that, laboratories are already doing that, and France is also going crazy with Bionano Genomics. Okay, I mean, I still have a lot of content that I want to share with you guys, but time is the problem. I have to share a video before I go to work and after work, so I have like 2 videos per day, and sometimes it is impossible for me to do it. So, but I have a lot of content on my computer that I still want to share with you guys, about adoption. Adoption is happening, and right now, you guys have to understand that we have only the Sapphire device right now. Okay, we have the Sapphire device and the Iris device, but we have the next generation, Sapphire device coming in the fourth quarter of this year, like I already shared with you guys. And then next year, first quarter, that is when we are going to see the commercialization of the next generation Sapphire device. So Tony, what's up? we talk about BNGO on this channel. I mean, that is more or less what my viewers want me to talk about, so I'm just going to keep it as simple as that. I could go into other stocks, but you're not gonna really enjoy it. I want to focus on this company for at least 5 years, focus on it deeply. And of course, everything I share with you guys on this channel, you can easily apply it to other stocks that you own. But if you have any other stocks that you would love me to quickly comment on, because I follow a lot, not only biotechnology sector, I follow all these sectors right here. Okay, commodity, currency, so I can always share some my opinion on other sectors. But BNGO genomics, in my opinion, is a very difficult topic, and a lot of you guys already know, you can already tell that a lot of YouTubers are running away from genomics. Okay, because it's a very difficult topic to cover. You're not gonna see the likes of Jerome or what's his name, Meet Kevin, or you won't see all these guys, or Tom Nash. You won't see them talking about genomic stocks. Okay, because they are more or less focused on the entire market. Nobody is going to dive into genomics. It's very difficult. I mean, I started to cover this like last year. I'm into BNGO now 12 months, over 12 months now. I've been talking about Bionano Genomics, so you guys already know. And some of my colleagues that also cover the stocks are nowhere to be found. Okay, some of them are busy, with personal stuffs, but it's not easy. So not everyone is good. All right, guys. So I think that is where we're going to end it right now, since no question in 5 years. Since no question. I could share more with you guys, but have a wonderful day, guys. Please remember to destroy the like button, okay? Smash the like button for the crazy YouTube algorithm so that other, Bionano Genomics investors, can see this video and learn 1 or 2 things. You guys have to understand that my price target on BNGO, okay, in 5 years, price could be above $30 US. I think Rusty is trying to, sandbag BNGO. My price target remain $100 US, guys. As crazy as that sounds, it remains $100 US. BNGO is not only, I think they will go after different market segments. BNGO is not only going to try to replace all these old school devices out there, okay? Karyotyping, microarray, I think they are still going to go into something else, okay? We already saw that they have Bionano Genomics Laboratory, where they are presently, doing the C19 test, and now they are going after the, CPT code. I'm still going to dive deep into that and share more information with you guys about that. I think they want to, try to make some money from CPT. I have some information, but I will talk about that in another separate video. So, and yesterday we saw that they started a new initiative, okay, about rare genetic disease. So that is also another package that they are going to be selling to all these laboratories out there that are already using the Sapphire device. If any laboratory in Europe, for example, like I already shared with you guys, the European Union government is presently putting millions of US dollars into, rare genetic disease research. Okay, they want to find therapy, they want to find cure, but first they have to understand what is going on in the genomes before they can at least think about, finding cure. So that is, of course, another revenue avenue for Bionano Genomics. So yeah, so let's end it here, guys. Have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks, Rusty. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Tony. See you guys, next time. And peace. I remember your boy Dio. This is Frankla. Ciao, ciao.